Well, good morning, everybody. It's 7:05 a.m. on Saturday, the 2nd of September. We are on the second day of the new month, and Stephen actually woke up worse this morning than he did feel when he went to bed last night. Now, yesterday, Stephen went to the doctor for the third time since he's been home. He came home on July the 30th, Sunday, July the 30th. That following Sunday, August the 6th, he had to go to the doctor. That second Sunday, he was home. Then last Friday, a week ago, he went to the doctor last Friday. And then yesterday, the 1st of September, he was back at the doctor. And it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And Stephen, since we have people invested in our channel and we have people that are interested in you, I feel that it's important to talk about what's going on. The expectation.
Show them what's out front the door.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. That's a positive note. That's a great idea. What is...
Now open the door and show them.
Oh, open the door. All right.
Come through the window.
Look at that. It's actually parked in the driveway. Look at that. It's actually parked in the driveway. It's not off to the side of the garage anymore. So it almost feels like he's heading out. It almost feels like that. I haven't seen the truck parked like that in almost 5 weeks. So, yeah, it's out and it's working and it's up and running. But who's not up and running? Stephen's not up and running. And look at that bright sun coming through. Like I said, it's 7:05 a.m. You can hear the roosters. You can hear the neighbors' roosters. So, yes, for all practical purposes, except for a few minor things, the truck is up and running. And I was weed eating last night, so he had to move the truck so that, because I actually, on this car right here, I actually have a cracked window on this car right here because several months ago I was weed eating, and I was weed eating too close to the car and put a crack in the window. So we didn't want to do that with the Freightliner. So, but it's up and running. Praise the Lord. And yes, I hear you, rooster. So let's go back inside.
Well, it was in the driveway.
What?
Well, it was in the driveway.
Yeah, what was in the driveway?
Ruthie was doing weed eating, so I moved my truck up here.
Does I have a bad reputation with weed eating?
Yeah, she breaks windows and stuff, so I didn't want to break a window. So I moved it up here. I still got to drop the oil pan, change the filters on it, and do a lube job, and pull the rear fenders and take it over and get drives put on it. While I have the oil pan and the oil filter off, I'll drain the antifreeze and pull that, tighten up. I don't know. I probably should just buy a whole brand new piece, because if I go through that again, that's not going to be cool. That one spigot that comes out of the bottom of the water pump. I know it's not a spigot, but it's a valve that sends water back to the back heater. And anyway, so it's like got 3 pieces of pipe pieces. It's got one big piece that's and 2 females or 2 males. And one male screws up into the water cooler, and the other side of the male screws into the valve itself. And so I taped it, cleaned it, scrubbed it, taped it, and put it up in there. Now, I don't know where the valve was on there. If I took that, I think I may have not taken it apart on the other side of the male. Probably should just take it out and buy a new double male. That's what I'm thinking. I'll just buy a new double male, because my thoughts is if it's still leaking, it's probably cracked. So, and get that from the hardware store. Or I can just go over here and probably find it laying over here at the cat shop. Yes, we have a cat shop. Jerry Kortner, he had a a rock quarry down the road, and he used to buy, fix, and sell. Well, he used to buy bulldozers and stuff like that and take them apart, and he sent them around the world, sold them around the world. And he died quite a few years back, but so his children and his wife and his children, his wife and his two daughters inherited the property and everything, and one of the daughter's husbands works down there, and he continues to do the same thing, buy bulldozers and sell them around the world.
How interesting that that's really just right around the corner. And that's
so
where
they've been very helpful to me over the years, but their head mechanic quit here a few months back, Willie Will. And he would always, I'd always go over there, and he'd, if I had any questions, he would tell me what I needed to do, but I didn't have him this time around, so I was on my own. So
wouldn't that have been a blessing if Willie had been right there with you the whole time, working with you? That would have been a blessing.
Well, I thought about going down there and paying him $100 a day just to be there next to me. So.
Oh, well, how come you didn't do that?
Because I had the Lord Jesus Christ to help me out.
Amen to that. And that's where the cats were born. Our 2 cats were born down there.
That's right. The cats were born in that shop. So anyway, so I've lost track where I was at.
Well, let's talk about your health.
Anyway, so this is the 3rd bout of whatever it is that I have. And so not yesterday, but the day before, it started coming back. It's funny how that works, because the last time I got it, it was right at the end of the day after a hot day. I just felt super tired and started coughing up lots of phlegm, and I just put away the tools and went inside. So anyway, so that's what happened to me the day before yesterday. I just got super tired. I just finished up with the truck, and I just covered up the tools and said, that's enough. And the next morning, I told Rita I got to go back to the doctor, because whatever that was, I didn't kick it. And so I went back to the doctor yesterday, and they gave me amoxicillin this time around. And so I take Benadryl, and I've been taking Benadryl. What is that other stuff that I've been taking? Zyrtec. So I took Zyrtec for like 10 years. And it got to where it wasn't doing nothing. So I went to Benadryl. My eye doctor says, why don't you just try Benadryl? Well, Benadryl will knock you out. Anyway, so anyway, it's getting to where it's the same way. I have to take, when I'm at home, I have to take like 3 of them, because being in Kentucky, there's a lot of pollen. And this house over in that corner over there has a mold issue. So I have to take 3 of them for them to do their job. So I told her, I says, yeah, even that is getting where I'm having to take 3 of them in order for them to do their job. But when I'm on the road, I only have to take 1, because I'm not around all this pollen. So anyway, I'll get you some Zysol. You ever tried any of that? And I go, is that the one with the owl? She says, yes. I said, well, no, I'll try it. So she got me some Zysol and the amoxicillin and a new albuterol.
So you got a new inhaler.
So, but the reason why I bring that up, ladies and gentlemen, is that 3 years ago, I weighed 240 pounds. And everywhere I went, I had this big belly truck driver in front of me. Just a big belly. It was about like this. It's hard to imagine, but yes, I had one. And so I just ate junk and candy and so on and so on. Well, my sweat started burning my eyes one day, and I was like, what in the world? I've never experienced that before. Why is my sweat burning my eyes? And I would smell it, and it smelled just like ammonia. It's just like open up a bottle of ammonia. And it's like, what in the world is going on? So when I finally got around to getting home, I went and seen a doctor and told him my symptoms, and they did blood work and urine work and all that stuff. Found out that I had stage 3 kidney disease. Well, my first thoughts was I'm going to heaven. Heck yeah, this is my way out. I've always wondered how I was going to get out of this world. Now I know. Well, guess what? The Holy Spirit said, guess what, Stephen? That's like committing suicide. And if you come up here doing that, you're getting the boot. And you're going to end up back in that body with it damaged. So you better get yourself healthy. And I was like, wow. So before I gave my life to the Lord, many, many years ago, I had committed suicide a few times. One time, I was carbon monoxide poisoning, and I woke up in a hospital, and I remember the doctor looking at me and says, I don't know what I'm doing looking at you. He says, there's enough carbon monoxide in your body to kill 10 men twice your size. And he says, this is the deal. He says, if we don't get that carbon monoxide out of your body, there will not be a man worth saving. So they sent me, I lived up in Washington State at the time. And so they sent me in an ambulance. And on my way down there in the ambulance, there's this real pretty girl with tattoos on her titties. And she was showing me, she was showing me her tattoos. And she was just keeping me occupied. And I got down to Seattle, and they put me in a hyperbarics chamber. And so we were going down in this hyperbarics chamber, and my ears are really, really hurting. And they said, here, try this gum. I thought that was a bad idea because, you know, you're going to pass out, you know, choke on the gum. But anyway, I got the gum, and I was chewing on it. And it helped. It helped pop my ears as I was going down. The hyperbarics chamber is just like going down below the ocean. Anyway, so they put me in a hyperbarics chamber, and I guess that pulls the carbon monoxide out of your body, being below ocean level. And so I had woke up several days later, and I had like stroke-like symptoms. Half of my body was not workable. My face hanging on one side. I couldn't talk worth a darn. I could not stand. If I stood up, my equilibrium was so off, I would just like I was on a ship and it was in a big hurricane. I would just fall to one side of the room, boom, and fall down on the floor. And I don't know why this story is going on like this, but anyway.
Somebody needs to hear it, I guess.
I have no idea why this story. That was before I gave my life to the Lord.
Amen.
So, but anyway, so I just get off on a rabbit trail. But anyway, so going back. Oh, I know why that brought that up, ladies and gentlemen. So I have damaged kidneys. And I ended up with stage 3 kidney disease. And the Holy Spirit told me that I couldn't come to heaven by killing myself, by being unhealthy. He said if I did, he would kick me back into the body that I destroyed, and I would have to deal with it. So I was like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. I've been through that before, back when I was doing the carbon monoxide thing. When I had committed suicide that time, I thought I had done a successful job, and when I woke up, I had a body that was in bad condition. So that was the thing. That's why that came up, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, I don't want to go through that again. Yeah, that was pretty bad. So I decided to lose a whole bunch of weight, and I had read to drink a lot of water and lemon. And I couldn't drink tea or coffee. I gave up coffee and tea, didn't I? Remember that? And I gave up everything. And I lost all the weight. I went all the way down to 100. Right now I'm at 175. I went all the way down to 155 pounds. And I did it dramatically and real fast. But guess what? I did it wrong. I didn't eat nutrition, and my skin looked like I was an old man. It was all crepey. My hair was all dried and fried, and my eyes were sunk in the back of my head. I looked like an old man, and I was like, wow. So I've done something wrong, and so I started watching this guy called Dr. Eric Berg, and I watched him while I was on the road for about 6 months. Maybe not that long, but I watched him for a long time. And so I bought into what he was doing or teaching, and because it made a lot of sense. He taught a lot about nutrition and what food does, what foods are bad for you and what foods are good for you, blah, blah, blah. Now, Mike, what's his name? Mike
Taylor?
No, yeah, Mike Taylor.
Mike Taylor. Shout out to Mike Taylor.
Mike Taylor doesn't like him because he just doesn't.
He's going to make a comment about that.
But
shout
anyway,
out to Mike Taylor.
We love Mike Taylor anyway. But anyway, because Mike is more of a carnivore. But anyway, so I went back up to like 200 and something pounds, 208. I was putting the weight back on, but this time I decided to do keto. And the way that I did keto was I cut the carbs and I cut the sugar, no fried foods, and I could eat anything I wanted, but I didn't eat anything I wanted. I ate meat, and that was usually beef, and I ate salads. And most of the time, every day, if you go back in my videos, you'll see where I was on this salad kick. I mean, salads, I had fruits in my salad. And so I did that, and guess what? I got right back down to 155, 160.
But the healthy way.
But this time, I looked healthy, and I felt healthy. And so guess what? I had a checkup at the hospital for the kidneys. And I go in there, and I get checked out. And the doctor looked at me and says, "What are you here for?" And I go, "For my kidneys." He goes, "And what's your name?" I go, "Stephen." He goes, "Stephen what?" I said, "Stephen Howard." "Stephen Howard from Cerulean, Kentucky." You know, blah, 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 blah. And so he kind of laughed. He says, "Well, there's no need for you to come back here anymore." My kidneys were completely healed up. And so... but, ladies and gentlemen, my kidneys are super duper sensitive. So I went through all of that backtracking just to let you know that my kidneys are super sensitive. So I have to usually take gel tablets because if I take pill form tablets, I have a lot of kidney pain and my kidneys just don't agree with breaking down pills. And so whenever I take stuff, I generally try to get it in a gel form, and it's not as hard on my kidneys. And so all of that to say was she gave me some Zysol, and I usually take Benadryl in a gel form. And so I did not take my Benadryl last night, but took that Zysol, and with that amoxicillin. There are it's huge pills, these amoxicillins. They look like miniature footballs. I think it's putting a lot of stress on my kidneys because I woke up my kidneys are hurting really bad. And my body hurts from head to toe. And I got a freaking major headache. And I just don't feel good. My legs feel like they weigh 5,000 pounds. I'm just really weak. And my throat, I just not getting better, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not getting better. And so, I don't mind dying because I get to go to heaven. But while I'm here on earth, I have a responsibility, and that's to provide for my family. And I need to be healthy while I'm here on earth to provide for my family. And I don't know why Ruthie wanted me to drag this up, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are. I'm explaining to you what I'm going through, and that's what's happening with me. Sorry about dragging way back to the 80s and talking about some of my immature lost soul days. I was just a freaking idiot. I was lost. I had an immature mind. I did a lot of dumb things in my past. And
yeah, but don't you think that I wouldn't be apologizing. People
so
need to know.
anyway, I'm just not getting any better. Ruthie wants me to tell y'all because she's like, well, you know, you're invested. People are invested in you and they want to know. Well, okay. So now you know. I'm not feeling any better. I hope that I get better because I have a lot of work to do. I still have to drop the oil pan. So I've been rambling on, ladies and gentlemen. My ears are hurting. My nose is it's gluey this morning. It's not runny like it was last night, but it's gluey. My throat's hurting. I'm sweating. Tired. I don't feel good. So, and that's where I'm at. Hopefully you don't have this junk and you stay healthy. You're enjoying this beautiful day outside.
It's Labor Day weekend.
Wherever you are, enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Yeah,
But
I mean, I don't know what this junk is where I can't get rid of it. I've been home a month and I've been good for what, 10 days out of a month? Well, so anyway.
well, Stephen, I love you, and I'm very, very proud of. I look back at all these videos that we have made in a month, and just to see what you have accomplished and to see what you have achieved. And that's really something to be proud of. I mean, not many people can dismantle and tear a motor apart like that and put it back together.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm burning up, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get off of here. So have a wonderful day. God bless, and later.